Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming today via live stream as well. At this time, if I ask if you just please silence your phones or turn them off, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends. My name is Reverend Lisa Nauman, and I would like to express to you that it is truly an honor and a privilege to be leading the service for your dear loved one this afternoon. Now, before we begin our time of sharing memories and to set the initial tone for the service today, I would like to ask that everyone quiet their hearts and we take a moment of silence. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the number of moments that take our breath away. Friends and family, members of the community within the healing embrace of love, we have gathered here to commemorate the life of David, for it is the passing of our friend and loved one that has brought us together, and it is his life which we wish to remember today. We are all drawn here by our common love, our common respect for him, and our common grief. This may certainly be an occasion for sorrow, but may it also be an occasion for thanksgiving, because we are thankful for the gift of life, as it has been a privilege that David has lived among us. Throughout our short time together today, we will experience a multitude of emotions as we recall our happy memories, experience our sad thoughts, and comfort one another in heartache. We are all made to have relationships with one another. Some of them may be for a moment, a season, or a lifetime. But regardless of how long the relationship lasted, when a bond is broken, we do feel pain. And to facilitate the healing journey, let there be tears. For tears are not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign of pressing forward through the pain and the sorrow that we experience on the journey of grief and loss. You see, death is a very personal matter for those who experience it and someone close to them. But we are all concerned, directly or indirectly, with the passing of any individual. For we are all members of one human community, and not one of us is independent nor separate. Our lives are different because David lived among us, and our lives will now be different because he is no longer here with us. But you can look through the entire world, and I think many of you would say there isn't anyone quite like David. He will be missed. David will still live on in our memories. Even though he's not a visible part of our day, he remains a member of our family and of our circle through the influence that he has had on us and the special part that he has played in our lives. Though some of the connections are strong and some may be light, each of us have been touched by the life of David in one way or another. He was a remarkable man that was able to create meaningful relationships with just about anyone that he encountered. He was known for his thoughtfulness and consideration for others. David was a loyal man that people could depend upon. He was genuine and trustworthy. He loved his family. David was the kind of guy that brought joy to the room and would light it up when he entered into it. David displayed strength of character as he treated others with respect. He was compassionate and caring towards himself and others, and he inspired those that he encountered on the regular basis. Life is broken and beautiful. Life consists of love, tears, laughter, and pain, and David embraced every last bit of it with strength of character. He was a strong man, and he was known to be very protective of those that he loved. Now, David was not without his own struggles. He experienced hardships and losses of his own. However, he is a clear example of someone that continued to stride forward in life, regardless of the circumstances. Throughout his life, David refused to allow his hardships to define him. Instead, he demonstrated what true courage was all about. And in addition to this, our lives have also positively influenced David in many, many ways. Each of us have enriched the life of David in a unique way, and for that, he will always be grateful. David lived a life of gratitude for the small things. He did not take a single moment or opportunity for granted, and he was thankful for all that he had. There's so much that can be said about the life of David, but whom better to share in these memories than his family and his friends? And so I'd like to begin by inviting Michelle to the front to just say a few words. I just have to wipe this down. You can leave it on if you'd like, or you can take it off. There's a screen there. It's okay.
You'll have to excuse me, I'm not very good at public speaking. Hello, my name is Michelle Grandsma. David Burgos and I were in a relationship together for about 2.5 years, with breaks in between. We were together more often than not. To all the family and friends of David Burgos, you're all in my heart and in my thoughts. I know we will all miss him dearly. He was a truly amazing man. I loved him so much more than words could say. Wherever a beautiful soul has been, there is a trail of beautiful memories. May you all find peace and comfort in all your memories of him. Burgos was a true gentleman. He took pride in protecting me. Sometimes I just wasn't used to it. I was a single mom for many years. I was always the protector until I met him. We like to go for walks and hikes together a lot. We both love nature. We would go for walks, and he would always ask me, "What's your issue? When are you going to learn to get on your own side? You need to walk on the inside of the sidewalk so that I can protect you." He tried just about everything. I just couldn't get used to it. He asked me again one day on the bridge. I finally had an excuse. I said, "Well, there's branches sticking out and they're smacking me and poking me if I'm on the inside." The next morning, he got up extra early for work. After he went home from work, we went for a walk. That day, he had a big smile on his face. He broke one of the branches in front of me. I looked at him and said, "What are you doing to that tree? Don't break the tree." I looked around and no branches were sticking out anymore on the bridge. He must have forgot one. He said with a smile, "Well, at least you're finally on your own side." He left for work early that day to tuck all the branches in and broke a few, just for me to walk on the proper side so he could protect me and keep me safe. I will always cherish how much of a gentleman he was. We both loved each other unconditionally. We had a soul connection. We wanted happiness for each other, even if we weren't together. The love never faded. He told me one day that he will find me in another life, and he will love me there too. I do believe we will meet again. I walk by those branches often, and I smile with that memory. I want to thank you all for listening to one of my many memories I have of Burgos. I am sure you all have many memories too. He was truly an amazing man. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michelle. It always takes so much courage to speak at a time like this, and we thank you for your memories. Now, I have a few items here that the boys have given to me to present. And so the first one here is from Cruz, and it says, "Love you to pieces. My daddy is so special. He's brave and strong and smart. And that is why I love him with all my little heart. Happy Father's Day 2017. And now we have this one from Justice. It says, "With every step, I try so hard to walk in your shoes. Love, Justice. Love, Dad." Those are very memorable. Thank you, boys, for sharing those. And now I'd like to invite Ashley to the front to say a few words.
I'm going to try to do my best. So good afternoon. My name's Ashley Baker. I'm the daughter of David Burgos, better known to most as Burgos. No words will ever be able to describe the amazing man that my father was and will forever be. My father was a strong, loving, hardworking, and most of all, a selfless man. He was a loyal man beyond words and had pure love for those in his life. Even in the time when he had very little, he made sure myself and those around him had everything that they needed to the best of his ability. He only wanted the best for those around him, especially those who he loved. On July 9th, 2020, Eric and I had the blessing of bringing our baby boy and my father's first grandchild, Slater, into this world. I cannot put into words how elated and proud my father was every time he saw him, or I would send him updates. He always made sure I recognized the accomplishments that I had made, even if they seemed so small to me. He believed in me every step of the way and would often say to me, "I look up to you even though you're smaller than me." Even though my father had a tough exterior with those who didn't know him, he was filled with nothing but love for those in his life. The love he had for his 3 children in particular would shine through every time you spoke with him about us. He never wanted my brothers and I to forget how much love his heart will forever hold for us. Although he may no longer be with us in physical form, he had a strong presence when he was here, and an even stronger one now that he has so many of us to protect and care for up above. Remember all of the amazing memories, all of the uncontrollable laughter he would cause, maybe not always in the right times either, but most importantly, remember his unconditional love for all of us. He lives on forever in our hearts. Thank you.
One does not leave a funeral the same way as when one arrives. Because it is at times like this, when we are faced with the reality of someone passing from our lives, that we reflect upon the life that has passed, and subsequently we will also take this opportunity to reflect upon the significance of our own lives as well. We all realize that our time is short and we seek purpose in all that we do. We may then feel a sense of urgency within our hearts as we are inspired to engage one another in meaningful ways. We may be inspired to reconcile relationships in our lives that may have dissolved for one reason or another, or perhaps to pursue our dreams and passions. But we can also rest in the knowledge that there's more to life than the short time that we spend here on earth. But if nothing else, this time of mourning will inspire gratitude for all that we have today. And so with that being said, I ask that we make a commitment to honor the life of David today. There's so much that we have learned from the example that David was for many of us, and we ought to share those attributes with others. So let us agree that the charismatic character that David shared with us, we will also enjoy and share with everyone else that we encounter from this day forth. And also let us promise to imitate the positive characteristics of David, such as his genuine heart and his trustworthiness, so that we may keep his memory alive. And we will also do this by walking through life and being kind-hearted towards everyone we meet. And so this concludes this portion of the service, but I have a few short words for you before we end our time here together. First, let us remind ourselves that those that have passed reside not in a grave or in an urn, but rather in the hearts and in the minds of the living. And I have a poem I would like to share with you. Fill not your heart with pain and sorrow, but remember me in every tomorrow. Remember the joy, the laughter, the smiles. I've only gone to rest a little while. Although my leaving causes pain and grief, my going has eased my hurt and given me relief. So dry your eyes and remember me, not as I am now, but as I used to be. Because I will remember you all and look on with a smile. Understand in your hearts I've only gone to rest a little while. As long as I have the love of each of you, I can live my life in the hearts of all of you. Thank you very much.
So at this time, this does conclude the service inside the chapel today. I'd like to thank you all for coming via live stream and in person. Take care. Stay safe.